All right, so War 7, we have CGR, Herc, and Quake bands. All right, so Boss Island, Terax, we've got any of your sick and tired champs with some Mr. Fantastic pre-fights. So Cosmic Ghost Rider, Hyperion, Apocalypse, S99, Elsa, all good options. Mephisto, we got S99 and Human Torch with pre-fight. Maul, we've got Human Torch with pre-fight, S99 Titania. Galan, you can use Kitty, you can use Symbiote Supreme, you can use Apocalypse. Quicksilver, we've got Fury, Mole Man, and Corvus. Doom, we have S99, Apocalypse, probably even Magneto with Pacify. Cersei, we have Symbiote Supreme, Hood, and Anti-Venom, and then Hulkling there, Rintraw, Hood, probably even S99 as well. 1 through 3 on the way out, we have Nimrod, you can use Nebula, and you can use CGR's out. Not CGR, Null as well. Just kind of play it safe with Null. Path 1 there, Nebula or Hulkling or Galan for Omega Sentinel, and then you can use Galan for Kingpin, or you could use Titania or any of the other buff immune champs, baiting special 1 or buffet immune. Path 2 there for Bishop, you can get away with War Machine, you can get away with Corvus, and then for spam, Corvus again, could use Shang-Chi or Mole Man, and then Silver Surfer there, Apocalypse, Rintraw, those are, and probably even, no, I wouldn't use Wiccan, probably Tigra still as well. All right, 4 through 6 on the way out. Killmonger, you've got Omega Red and Kitty Pryde. Path 4 there, you can take the whole thing with Shang-Chi, but Immortal Abomination could get a little risky, so use Warlock or Nimrod or another poison immune. You can also use Fury or Mole Man for that Void. Path 5 there, Magneto, and then or Tiger, and then Nimrod or Omega Sentinel or Silver Centurion for Kitty Pryde. And then path 6 there, you can use Nimrod or War Machine for that Apocalypse, and then Human Torch or Mr. Negative or S99 for that Tigra. Going in, you've got Domino, you can use Nimrod, you can use Warlock, you can use Omega Sentinel. 7 through 9 on the way out, Sasquatch, you have S99, Mr. Negative, Human Torch, and then on the way in, we have Man-Thing. Probably going to be Thing as your top option. Not too many other options for that. Can probably still use Omega Red and just kind of watch with a Odin Shock pre-fight. Watch what you're doing. Path 7 there. S99, Mr. Negative for Mojo, and then for Penny, Hulkling, Galan, plenty of options there. Path 8 there, you can use Hood for the whole thing, you can use Rintraw for the whole thing, and then path 9, Hulkling or Thing for Magneto, and then for Korg, you can use Angela, High Sig, or you can use White Magneto or Omega Red with a Shock pre-fight, Odin Shock pre-fight. All right, and then 1 through 3 in section 2 on the way in, we had a Guardian. You can use Null, you can use Galan. Mangog, you have S99, maybe even Mr. Negative, Human Torch as well. Rintraw, again, you can use Human Torch, not S99. You can't give him an Odin Shock. Probably... actually your Odin Shock would stay, so you can use Immortal Abomination as well for Rintraw and just fight during the poison phase. 1 through 3 on the way out in section 1, Immortal Hulk, you have Apocalypse, you have S99, you have Warlock. Path 3, Mr. Fantastic, or Path 1, Mr. Fantastic. You can go with Archangel, you can go with Fury, you can go with Shang-Chi, not too tough of a fight at all. Path 2, you could use Corvus there for Hitmonkey, or you can use any real counter to him that is a mutant, so Apocalypse, any of the storms. And then for Dragon Man, Nebula, or S99, or Human Torch. And then Path 3, as usual, Galan or Hulkling is just going to tear that up. Okay, and then 4 through 6 on the way out, Fury, you got Kitty Pryde, you have White Magneto, you have Omega Red. For Path 4 there, you can use Shang-Chi, you can use Fury for that Mr. Fantastic. Path 5, you can use Apocalypse or White Magneto or a Storm for that Jabari Panther. And then for Mordo, you can use Human Torch, you can use Null, you can probably still use Kitty Pryde as well. Path 6 there for Wong, S99, Mr. Negative, Human Torch. 7 through 9 on the way out, Arcus, you've got High Sig Angela, you've got Shang-Chi, you even have CMM. Path 7, Human Torch or Kitty Pryde for that long shot. And then for Thing, you can actually use Black Cat or Falcon. Path 8 there, Hyperion, you have S99, you have Hood, you have Rintrah. And then Path 9, Null, you can use CMM, Shang-Chi, or Angela again. And then for Havoc, you could use Angela. You can also use Nimrod or Warlock. So that does it for defense. Let's take a look at offense. All right, so War 7, we have NY231, and I have no idea if they're related to NY718. Today I'm going in with Apocalypse, Nebula, and Cable. I've got Path 1 in Section 1, Path 3 in Section 2, a mini-boss on Boss Island, and I actually have boss duty this war. All right, so every fight is pretty much an Apocalypse nuke with one Nebula fight thrown in. Mr. Fantastic here, or sorry, Mr. Negative here on Masochism. We're not going to worry about our debuffs getting shrugged because we have that negative 100% purification ability accuracy. I'm actually not going to parry this fight, I believe. So we're going to bait out heavies or intercept. We're going to build the special 2. The power backs are going to push us either to special 2 or with a special 1. And with all the damage from both the charges and the boosts, Mr. Negative is going to get KO'd before he even has a chance to throw a special. So we bait out the special 2, and then we finish him with our special 2. So very easy fight. That's pretty much the whole war until we get to the boss, and the boss is just stun immune. There are a couple nodes we kind of mess the combo, or sorry, switch up the combo, such as this one, but that's only because of the relation to the node. So here we have Strike Counter Fury. We're going to go parry heavy, parry medium light, parry medium light, parry medium light, light into our special 2. Again, power back boosts should push us to a special 2 again. But once we throw that first special 2, we're not going to worry about strike counter because we're going to barely do any combos between special attacks from that point on. And then we don't have to worry about healing. Sure, he might go into immortality even with the concussion up. But as soon as the immortality ends, he's just going to die instead of heal due to the heal block. So there was the special 2. We throw the special 1. Again, no real combo in between. This is going to pretty much get him into immortality, and we do the heavy to refresh those debuffs, and now it's just waiting it out. And as soon as it ends, he's going to go down just from dot damage. So again, another Apocalypse nuke fest. We move on. Path 3. We had bleed recoil on. Now we are bleed immune at this point. So this node, if Surfer happens to build up armor ups, is pretty much irrelevant outside of the glancing. So we are hoping that he doesn't throw a heavy attack or a special 1 while he's in his armor phase. But it's not going to last long enough again for it to even matter. So here we're just comboing, parrying, building to our special 2. We drop it immediately. Again, the power back boosts are going to push us pretty high to another special 2. Bait out the special 1. Luckily, it's his power gain buff into the next special 2, and this will finish it. So the nuke fest is not ending. Next node is the only one for Nebula. We are taking this Nimrod on 46. We used PS1s this entire war, which is really nice, not having to use any invulnerability boosts. So here, no different. We're going to PS1 or have PS1. We're going to build charges, and as we get to 20, we are going to let his armor up expire. And just as a safety precaution, we are going to make sure that timer up there is not about to end in between us transferring our charges into shocks and us throwing special 2, because the last thing we would want is for glancing to trigger in between that time. Yes, it might not trigger glance on a special attack and still work out, but if you can control the risk, why not just control it? So here we are, just building charges. I'm at the 20 mark, but I'm not at a special 2. So I'm going to try and get a combo out here to build the special 2. There we go. Parry off the wall into special 2, double the shot count, and tick, tick, tick goes Nimrod. So super easy fight for Nebula. We move on. We've got Galan on Conflictor. Here is another node I'm going to change the combo up. However, we are still going special 2 into special 1 or into special 2 nuke. I'm going to play this parry medium, light, medium, parry, heavy. And that's all I'm going to rotate the entire time. I don't want to give him an extra buff that feeds his planetary mass. So I'd rather not push him into Harvest at all during this fight, especially since Apocalypse still has a fight. So I even throw this special 2 before Galan has had a chance to gain any buffs, knowing that power backs are just going to give me a special attack ready and therefore allow me to drop his planetary mass throughout the fight. So I should be able to keep him from getting into Harvest, especially with this alternating combo and dropping another special 2, which removes more planetary mass than a special 1 would. But you see here, I'm just kind of playing it pretty patiently, and I just decided to end it with this special 1. So pretty much a joke of a fight when you have Apocalypse available. Then the final fight is Terax here, boss node. So a couple learning things we got from this. One, Mr. Fantastic pre-fights are placed. That's so that if he happens to give me 3 or more armor breaks at the start, I am not going to have to be dealing with unblockable, because those 3 debuffs are going to count towards sick and tired, and that's going to reduce his unblockable ability accuracy by 100%. So that's going to prevent the unblockable, and that's going to give me time to get to special 2, place some debuffs, and then prevent future unblockables from that point on. So this is a max sig Terax, which means the rock field is going to take a lot longer for it to go away, since he starts at 66% of his max energy. And the reason that's kind of a pain is that the Mr. Fantastic debuffs fell. So we actually have 2 from the special 2 here, trying to get the special 1 out. I did practice retaliating the special 1, however, I set myself up poorly for that first one, which means that those first 2 debuffs from special 2 are going to fall off. It's fine. Between knocking him down and throwing special 1, it's still 3. So here comes the second learning point of this. It appears that the unblockable only triggers when you cross that 3 debuff threshold and not any time after it. So as long as you prevented it when it crossed that 3 threshold, he's going to remain unblockable when your debuffs fall, and it gives you time to get debuffs back on. So we're still at 2 here again. I'm going to throw this special 2 that's going to give us 5, which is great. He's at special 1. So now we really need to retaliate this special 1 with a heavy, and we are going to do that. And now we're sitting pretty. From here on, it should be pretty straightforward. I do believe I throw a special 1 here, I think. Yep. And this is just to kind of push him, or actually that was just for damage. I threw it a tad bit early. His rock field hadn't ended. I really wish that special attack would have given him more power to get to his special 1, but it's fine. Debuffs survive. We get the heavy retaliate. We don't have to worry about unblockable. And here I'm just waiting for the rock field to end as I build this special 2. We get the intercept there, and that finishes the fight. So I was pretty happy with that boss solo. Rank 4 Terax, max sig. Didn't last as long as I thought it might. So was the end of my war. Pretty satisfying war. Our battle group actually only died once that war, so I don't remember what they died at. It was a lot because the final was 47-8. So pretty easy win for us. Was happy with that. Felt good bringing Apocalypse in. But yeah, that is that. Hope you guys enjoyed the war. Hit subscribe, give it a like, and I will see you guys at War 8.